Everyone, today let's learn about hospice care. Medical definition of hospice care. Care designed to give supportive care to people in the final phase of a terminal illness and focus on comfort and quality of life rather than cure. The goal is to enable patients to be comfortable and free of pain so that they live each day as fully as possible. Aggressive methods of pain control may be used. Hospice programs generally are home-based, but they sometimes provide services away from home, in freestanding facilities, in nursing homes, or within hospitals. The philosophy of hospice is to provide support for the patient's emotional, social, and spiritual needs as well as medical symptoms as part of treating the whole person. Hospice programs generally use a multidisciplinary team approach, including the services of a nurse, doctor, social worker in providing care. Additional services provided include drugs to control pain and manage other symptoms, physical, occupational, and speech therapy, medical supplies and equipment, medical social services, dietary and other counseling, continuous home care at times of crisis. Although hospice care does not aim for a cure of the terminal illness, it may treat potentially curable conditions such as pneumonia and bladder infections with brief hospital stays if necessary. Hospice programs also offer respite care workers, people who are usually trained volunteers who take over the patient's care so that the family or other primary caregivers can leave the house for a few hours. Volunteer care is part of hospice philosophy. Goals of hospice care. The main goal of hospice care is to reduce potentially unavoidable physical, emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual suffering encountered by patients during the dying process. End of life care requires detailed attention to each person's wishes, beliefs, values, social situation, and personal characteristics. Complex care of hospice patients may include the following: managing evolving medical issues such as infections, medical management, pressure ulcers, hydration, nutrition, physical stages of dying. Treating physical symptoms such as pain, shortness of breath, anxiety, nausea, vomiting, constipation, confusion, etc. Counseling about the anxiety, uncertainty, grief, and fear associated with the end of life and dying. Rendering support to the patient, their families, and caregivers with the overwhelming physical and psychological stresses of a terminal illness. Guiding patients and families through the difficult interpersonal and psychosocial issues and helping them with finding closure. Paying attention to personal, religious, spiritual, and cultural values. Assisting patients and families in making their wishes known and also reaching financial closures. Living will, trust, advance, directive, funeral managements. Providing counseling to the mourning loved ones after the death of the patient. Medical conditions commonly referred to hospice. Even though cancer remains one of the most common hospice diagnoses, many other terminal conditions are now very routinely referred to hospice. Conditions other than cancer that are commonly referred to hospice are lung disease, heart disease, congestive heart failure, stroke, coma, advanced liver disease, end-stage kidney disease, dementia, advanced neurologic disease, Parkinson's disease. In reality, no specific restrictions exist as to what conditions can be referred to hospice. Any disease that is deemed end-stage is not reversible and its further treatment poses more burden than benefit can be considered for referral to hospice. Who is eligible for hospice care? As a general guideline, hospice is recommended to a patient with an incurable terminal disease with a life expectancy of 6 months or less if the disease were to run its normal course. Although this is the rule by which Medicare defines hospice eligibility, it is not always possible to predict whether an individual will live less than 6 months. Therefore, certain clinical criteria are in place for common hospice diagnosis. Physicians can use these guidelines to assess whether someone is a candidate for hospice referral. In addition to disease-specific criteria, there are also other general guidelines for hospice eligibility. These guidelines are based on the patient's functional status and physical signs and symptoms, which can indicate advanced stages of disease regardless of the diagnosis. Hospice in India. In India, palliative or hospice care is difficult, if not impossible to find. A conspiracy of lies surrounds the deathbed. Doctors are afraid to stop treatment for the fear of the family's anger, and families hide the truth from their loved one for fear of what it will do to him. In his heart, the patient almost always knows what is happening. Even children understand when they are dying. Yet, for fear of upsetting their families, they suffer alone in silence. Comparison of hospice and hospital. It has been suggested an important difference between hospice and hospital care is that hospice care is more geared to the attainment of the patient and family goals, and that these goals concern a broader range of comfort, psychosocial and rehabilitation issues. Difference between hospice and palliative care. Place. Hospice programs far outnumber palliative care programs. Generally, once enrolled through a referral from the primary care physician, a patient's hospice care program, which is overseen by a team of hospice professionals, is administered in the home. Hospice often relies upon the family caregiver as well as a visiting hospice nurse. While hospice can provide round-the-clock care in a nursing home, a specially equipped hospice facility, or on occasion in a hospital, that is not the norm. Palliative care teams are made up of doctors, nurses, and other professional medical caregivers, often at the facility where a patient will first receive treatment. These individuals will administer or oversee most of the ongoing comfort care patients receive. While palliative care can be administered in the home, it is most common to receive palliative care in an institution such as a hospital, extended care facility, or nursing home that is associated with the palliative care team. You must generally be considered to be terminal or within 6 months of death to be eligible for most hospice programs or to receive hospice benefits from your insurance. There are no time restrictions. Palliative care can be received by patients at any time, at any stage of illness, whether it be terminal or not. Hospice care and palliative care are very interconnected and interdependent to each other when it comes to the most important issue for dying people, that is care. Most people have heard of hospice care and have a general idea of what services hospice provides. What they don't know or what may become confusing is that hospice provides palliative care and that palliative care is both a method of administering comfort care and increasingly an administered system of palliative care offered most prevalently by hospitals. As an adjunctive supplement to some of the more traditional care options, both hospice and palliative care protocols call for patients to receive a combined approach where medications, day-to-day care, equipment, counseling, and symptom treatment are administered through a single program. So we can say that palliative care and hospice care are complementary to each other. Thank you, my friends.